My name is Brian Burgess. I work for the Jarvis Products Corporation, and today I'm going to show you how to basic disassemble and reassemble of a USS2A. To start the disassembly process, we normally place it into the vise. You don't want to squeeze too hard, you can crush the trigger. Don't put too much pressure on it, just enough to give you a third hand. Once we get to that position, we want to take our hoses off. A, B, and C. Remove them completely from the unit itself. From this point, we're going to remove the 6 nuts on the back. These do have a series of lock washers, so as you're taking them off, just be careful you don't drop them. They work in sets. Pull them back. Once we get to this point, we can remove the rear cap. Once we get this off, there's a quad ring right here. You want to grab a small screwdriver, something that could just get in there, just pop it right out. From this point, we have another portion that needs to come out. Just put something in there, lightly pry it open. Should slide right off. From this point, piston comes out. Inside. You have your catch. There's 2 of those in there. And they face this way upon reinstallation. Now we move to the next process of the disassembly. I like to take it off the vise, lay it down on the top, have the handle as support. I start by taking off the hose. It's not necessary, but it gives you a little more room to work with. Once we remove the hose, we want to access the spool valve from the back. These 4 screws. Okay, once we get to this point, we could remove this piece. Comes with the spring. Inside here, if you take a needle nose pliers, you can get in and grab the spool valve. That's your basic disassembly of the spool valve. Now that we've concluded the disassembly process of the USS2A, I'm going to start to reassemble it. To start the assembly process, we're going to put the spool valve back into place. Lightly put it in. Do not force it. Once you find it, it should go in nice and easy. Your spring and the spring housing could go together as one unit. Putting this on the nipple of the spool valve. Take our screw with our lock washers on it. Won't tighten them down fully just yet. Work in a star pattern. Once you get them all in, tighten them down. From this point, we're going to move this unit back into the vise. Okay, to start the assembly process, we're going to put the piston back in with the 2 bumpers on it. Taper edge goes down towards the nose of the unit. We're going to take our catch. We're going to line it up. There are 2 air ports here. They need to line up right here, catch and supply. So we turn this around, line everything up. Press it down. Next we take our rear cap. We want to grab our quad seal, put it in place. Take this, line it up. Put it on. We're going to take our washers, place them on the studs, and hand start our nuts. What I like to do before we torque them is I'll take my impact gun and I'll start setting them down. Not too much, just right to the point where they start to need to get torqued. Just like that. Work in a star pattern. Now we're going to torque these nuts down to 15 to 18 foot-pounds. Working in a star pattern. Came out perfect. From this point, we're going to reattach our hoses. Your A port is underneath. Make sure it connects to the A port on the top handle. B port, right here. To the B port of the other handle. And C to C. Final process. Put your hose back on. Tighten it down. That's a fully assembled USS2A.